Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm reading for Virgo energy and I'm reading for Virgo energy for Saturday. Whenever you get this reading, it's meant to be for you at that time. Use your intuition to guide you as always. You don't have to be Virgo sun sign, you can have Virgo placements in your chart. Yeah, but see if it fits, and if it doesn't, it's just somebody else's reading today, right? Let's see what we have for you. My lovely Virgos. Virgos for Saturday. What do we have for Virgo energy, please? Merlin, hello. Okay, off to a sexy start here. A little bit like Magician energy, which the Magician card is a Virgo card for me. It's Virgo Gemini, ruled by, who are you ruled by? Hermes, right? So a little bit trickster. I'm getting Loki. I don't know if maybe some of you have been watching Loki. Alchemy and Manifestation Magician. I'm hearing now you see it, now you don't. Now you see it, now you don't. Which is interesting because I had this thing last night. Just sometimes as I'm kind of settling down to sleep or just kind of waking up from sleep. Obviously everybody gets kind of like dreams and visions and things like this at that time. It seems like most susceptible for me to get random messages through. But I was getting this kind of like, it looked like a little compact mirror, right? Like a little round, or I think it was round, a little round mirror, but it wasn't a mirror. It was more like the end of a telescope, right? Like a spyglass, I want to say. It was like this circle glass, but it was like being flipped one way, and one way it was more like a mirror, right? It was like the light was, it was kind of like shiny, you know, like when people get the sunlight on a mirror and like they use it to signal to somebody else. Maybe some of you are doing like army stuff, I don't know. And then, but it was flipped around the other way and you could see through it. So it's almost like a one-way mirror, you know, like they use in police stations where it's like, from one side it looks like a mirror and from the other side it looks like a, you know, you can see through it. But it was like being flipped. So it's like, now you see me, now you don't. It just reminds me of that. So like sometimes it's reflective and sometimes it's transparent. So is it, are you cloaking or are you being transparent? It's like apparating in and out. It's like, hello crow. A crow's just landed on the roof across from me. Virgos, you're very interesting energy. What is this cloaking? What is this? Right. Do you see his cardigan? It's almost like if you imagine that this was like space behind him, it's almost like it'd be blending in with space, right? It is like cloaking. Do you know, like, have you seen experiments like the army? Again, I'm getting this army reference. Sometimes like the army, you know, can cloak like planes and cars and things. I saw this experiment once where, like using fiber optics, they had a car, and on one side it was like thousands of little tiny cameras. On the other side it was like loads of tiny little screens. So it projected what was, like, if the car was like side on, like whatever was behind the car, like the landscape behind the car was being projected to the front of the car. So the car was almost like blurring in with its landscape. Now they're showing me like a tiger, you know, like a tiger with the stripes, like blending in with its environment. Camouflage, thank you, that's the word, camouflage. So what are you camouflaging and what are you masking? Or is this something being done to you? Now, another thing that's coming through for you is I was getting these messages about, like, literally like a person not being there. Right, it's like a person's there, because that's what they're showing me. They're showing me like, now you're there, now you're not, right? Somebody like apparating in and out. Are you seeing apparitions perhaps? But I was lay there in bed and I had the song by Halsey stuck in my head, Ghost. Where'd you go? You know, you're not there in the body sleeping next to me or something like that. It's like, my ghost, where did you go? So it's this feeling of like, maybe some of you are able to, right, maybe some of you are able to psychically connect with certain people, right? So it could be friends, family, things like this. Like, so an emotional connection with somebody else, maybe a psychic connection with somebody else. But it's like there's a block. It's like all of a sudden that disc, right, the mirror, is it transparent? Is it a mirror? It's like it's flipped. So you've lost the connection. So where did they go? It could be a phone call, right? Some of you, if we ground this in the 3D, it could be like you're on the telephone to somebody, the telephone connection cuts out. It's like you can't get hold of them. Like, where did they go? It's like, and I had a dream as well. I had this dream about, I was in a superstore, and I was getting changed in the changing rooms, and the fire alarm went off, and I went out, and it's like the evidence of people being there, like people's phones and wallets and things was there, but the people weren't there. And it's like, well, how do I get hold of that person if they've left the phone? How do I get hold of that person? So it's like it's like not being able to contact somebody all of a sudden, or somebody, you know, going off the radar. It's kind of giving me that energy of like going through a tunnel as well. You know, like when you're in a car and you go through a tunnel and the radio cuts out, and you know, the internet cuts out. It's like somebody's going off the radar, somebody's going off grid. Or is there interference? Is there some kind of interference in the signal between you and somebody else? I definitely felt this feeling. I mean, I feel like the back now, but this week I had this feeling of like getting disconnected from one of my guides. It was like suddenly being aware that there was an empty space, there was a presence missing, right? It's like, why can't I connect to that energy anymore? Where have they gone? Like, what's happened to the signal there? I want to say maybe something's come in. Maybe there is interference by a third party. Maybe there's somebody blocking a signal between you and somebody else. Interesting. But that is your energy. You are the magician. And then Thoth. Wisdom, time, writing, and Akashic records. Yeah, so it's like a... And then do you see how he has the book? So he's got the cardigan with the with this kind of like astrology design on, but he's got the notebook. So I want to say this energy is the notebook, and this person's utilizing this energy. What is this reading? So I want to say that there is a connection between these two energies. I don't know who you are. I'm inclined to say this is you because of the Virgo. You know, Merlin, the magician card, is Virgo energy, or Gemini. Doesn't have to be, anyone can be any energy at any point. But I'm tempted to say you're this Merlin energy. And you've got kind of a psychic connection here with this Thoth energy, whatever this means to you. It doesn't have to be a man, by the way. It could be your own psychic connection to like the Akashic records, right? If you want to Google what the Akashic records are, go ahead and do that. Again, it could be perhaps you're the sort of person who receives a lot of information in your dream space, you know, and then you action that in real life. But it's like, it's kind of like, I don't know if some of you keep a dream journal, right? Some of you have the dreams, or you have psychic knowledge of some kind. You receive downloads, you get, and this doesn't even have to be, you know, I'm channeling psychic information. Sometimes it can just be your impulses, your instincts, you know, random flashes of inspiration, random ideas, or yeah, just like instinctual feelings. And it's like, then you make a note of it. So it does feel like a dream journal. But it's like feeling like they're showing me like a switch going off, and then like a tap going off. It's like suddenly like the stream of information is switched off, right? It's like suddenly that connection's lost. They keep showing me like the bar on a phone as well, you know, like the Wi-Fi bar and like the little aerial signal. So it's like sudden loss of connection. It's like, where did my spirit guide go? Where did that information stream go? So again, some of you could be literal, like to ground it in reality, it's literally you're losing your internet connection, you're losing your phone line. You know, maybe we've got a lot of stormy weather at the moment. Stormy weather, they give me the song. A lot of stormy weather at the moment where perhaps the power lines are going down and things like this. So disconnect from something that feels like Akashic records, like it feels like you're tapping into some kind of like higher knowledge in some sort of way, and making notes. So why would you get cut off, and what's caused you to be cut off? See, this magician here, he has an owl as well. So I want to say it is a two-way connection. Like either you're influencing each other or you're learning from each other in some sort of way. Definitely feels two-way, but it's like it can only be one way at a time. It's like sometimes you've got the reflective side, right? You can't see through it, and that person's getting information from you. And sometimes it flips, and like you can't, all you see is the mirror, and that person's watching you. So it's like this reflecting, watching, reflecting and watching. So watching, gathering information, or you get the reflective state, which is like mirroring. Hang on, let me figure this out. So being in the receptive state where you're watching this other person, you're receiving, and then the mirror. So you see yourself acting based on the information you've received, and that person watches you. They're giving me an ABBA song. It's knowing me and knowing you. So I just keep seeing this thing flipping around if you see my hand movements. Knowing me and knowing you, but it's watching me and watching you. So it's doing something, seeing somebody do something based on the information you've given them, gives you information which you act out. You see yourself acting out the information that you've been given, but they're watching you act out that. So it's like this weird taking turns energy. What? Virgo, I didn't expect this from you. What is going on here? It's funny, one of my boss is a Virgo. She identifies a little bit more with Libra, but she's so Virgo. The power goes in work. It's so funny, actually. It's only just come to my mind now, and it fits so well. So when I work in a kitchen, and when we have everything on, you know, all the toasters, all the microwaves, all the grills, you know, the dishwasher, the extractor fan, when all the power's on, when everything's using and consuming so much power, that may be something. Eventually the circuit cuts out, right? And we have to go power, and one of us runs down to go and flip the fuse back on. But we had an electrician come in and add extra circuits to kind of ease the load on each fuse. You know, it's like to spread the energy out so it's not all on one circuit. And it's been a lot better, like a huge amount better, but sometimes it still does flip. And it's funny because in work yesterday, we'd been working for hours and hours and hours, and it'd been so busy, and my boss came into the kitchen and said, "Has the power gone out?" And I said, "No, it's been brilliant. It hasn't gone out once." 2 minutes later, the power went out. And I was like, "You manifested that. You spoke it into existence." You know, joking. I think she was a bit annoyed with me. And I was, but it's so funny. It hadn't cut out all day. So it's this energy of, did she predict that it was going to go out? Did she foreshadow that? Or did she speak it into existence? And it's that you've got this weird turntables energy of, which one is it? Am I speaking it into existence, or am I predicting it and seeing it play out? I can see that happens all the time to me. I get stuff through and I'm like, I don't know if this person's mimicking me because of something I've said in the reading, or if they're doing it, you know, unconsciously, and yet I have predicted it. Are they mimicking, or am I predicting? I want to say it's both. I want to say it's a mix, right? Because they're showing me the spinning. That's so funny. Like, again, with the union stuff that I was picking up on in Leo's reading, like, I predicted it, and then I saw it play out in Santaro's reading, and in reality on my Twitter timeline. I was like, there it is, there's that stuff that I was like, that's the union stuff. Did I speak it into existence? Do I have to be careful about my words? I'm having, I don't know if it's an epiphany, I don't know if it's a mental breakdown, Virgo, in the middle of your reading. What is happening? What is happening? Look, he's got the disc on his head. Like, it's like a mirrored disc. Just be careful. You might be really strong with your manifestation now. You might literally be speaking stuff into existence, and it freaks you out as well. I have to say, it freaks me out so badly, because it's like, are these people watching my readings and then gaslighting me? Are these people watching my readings and then saying stuff because they've watched my readings and taking the piss? Or have I literally predicted, like, have I like literally predicted stuff that's going to happen? I know 100% that I'm predicting stuff. I don't know why is this turned into a counselling session, Virgo? Are you psychoanalyzing me? Do you feel like this? Do you feel like you're being, like, people are gaslighting you? Do you feel a little bit like you're going crazy? Are you saying things and then seeing it being actioned out? I have Virgo rising. It's like Virgo Leo rising, so I feel like I'm in the same boat with you. We need Leo to get us through this, I want to say. Right. Oh, you need a song. Okay. What's going on? What's going on? Okay. Virgo energy for Saturday. Watching me, knowing you. What's going on? Zombie by Bad Wolves. So that's the Cranberries song Zombie, but it's by a different artist, Bad Wolves. It's kind of a bit more of a updated rocky version. So if you know that song, another head hangs low, darling slowly taken, and if violence causes such silence, we must be mistaken. In your head, zombie, 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 right? So it does talk about, if you want to look into the background of that, it's British-Irish relations and politics, and some of the violence that escalated from that unfortunately resulted in 2 young boys from Warrington losing their lives because of yeah, just an unfortunate incident. I don't think it was intended, but it was, you know, it made a lot of people realise that something had to be done, something had to change, because small children shouldn't be caught up in things that they don't really know about or care about or understand. So yeah, quite a, I don't know how that plays out for you. Obviously go and listen to the song, see how that applies to you, and see what messages you're getting through from that. Judgment. Okay. I haven't got you any words. I need to get you some words as well. Maybe I need to get you the words now. If Rapture comes out, I'm out of here. Leo had Rapture. Okay, what does Virgo have, please? What words do we have for Virgo? Paradise. Well, well, okay. Close. It's kind of the other end of the story, right? That's kind of like chapter 1. Powerful. I'm getting Lana Del Rey, Dark Paradise. Every time I close my eyes, I'm in a dark paradise. That was one of the songs for. I wonder if it was the Earth signs. Could have been the Earth sign reading that I did last week. Glorious. Yes, it was. So if you haven't watched it yet, I did a pick a card reading for the Earth signs, and one of these songs was Dark Paradise. I was getting this paradox energy of like dark paradise, beautiful stranger. I want to run away, but I'm also magnetically drawn to this. So if this is kind of ringing any bells, go and watch that pick a card reading. Use your intuition to guide you. I want to say with that Merlin card, your intuition is very strong right now. From one more. You're getting 5. No one else has got 5. Being special. Bloom. Glorious Paradise, powerful from Bloom. Nice alliteration there. Paradise, powerful. Okay. What do we have for my Virgos? Conflict. Ooh, yeah. Have you got shaky intuition, or are you not trusting your intuition? Okay. I am getting kind of like gaslighting energy, I'm going to be honest. You know, maybe somebody's messing with your head a little bit. Or you feel like you can't trust your own intuition on something. It's like, am I deceiving myself in some sort of way? Defensive here. It's not the best energy, I'm going to be honest, Virgo. It like starts off well, and then I just feel like you can't trust something. I feel like you can trust it, but you feel like you can't trust something. It's like you're walking away from paradise or something. Hanging around, trying to see things from a different perspective, procrastinating, holding back, not trusting. There feels like a big trust issue here. So, your major arcana, you start up here emotionally with the Judgment card. Some kind of soul calling, second chance, revival, feeling awake again, feeling alive again, but immediately going into this conflict energy. So emotional conflict, you could be emotionally conflicted about something, not trusting your intuition, again, it feels like disconnect from that higher guidance. Again, with this, you see this like symbol on a head. It's like the looking glass, or this lens that I'm getting through. I'm also seeing it here with this half moon symbol. It's like the thing that's holding the lens. I'm gonna have to look up what that symbol is, you know, on the head. I can't quite remember what that is. So it's funny that I've put it in the upright, but it was reversed. So feeling like you can't trust your instincts, feeling like the universe is gaslighting you is how it feels. The Wheel of Fortune here is interesting as well. A big turn of the wheel, big change of fate, a lucky cycle coming in, a gamble paying off, and yet you don't trust it. You don't trust it. So you want to move on from it. You want to like turn your back on this and walk away. But it looks like it's your Two of Cups. So this looks like it's, again, maybe you have like literally a psychic bond with somebody. You know, this is, Two of Cups is like somebody who meets you on an emotional level. It's like you and this person get along like, you know, salt and pepper, chalk and cheese, right? All those weird things. Again, it's like contradictory. So this weird contradiction energy. And you've even got the soulmate card here as well with the Six of Cups, which is in your future thoughts. So either thinking, I recognise that somebody's trying to bring me some kind of emotional offer here, or you're thinking, how do I bring emotions into this situation? How do I tell someone how I feel? How do I express my feelings? How do I bring forth this emotional communication? Wanting to get the upper hand or being defensive. And then here's the equal, again, you've got two cards about emotional equal give and take. The Two of Cups and the Six of Cups. So it's like mentally recognizing this person is a soulmate for you. This person's meant to be part of your soul family. You know, they meet you on an emotional level, and yet being defensive, yet having emotional conflict, yet not believing this and not trusting your instincts, not trusting your intuition and wanting to move on. It feels like self-sabotage, but there's something going on with that lens. It's almost like this is the lens. It's almost like this is the lens. It's like 1 minute it looks really good, and then the next minute you don't trust it. It's this weird contradictory or like flipping energy. But I want to say, the thing is with this is it's a shared lens. So when you trust it, when you see clearly, your person doesn't. And when your person sees clearly and trusts it, you don't. Right? It's this weird flipping of the lens, like you share the lens. You're both looking through the same mirror, but only one of you, it's like only one of you can look through the lens at any one time. Only one of you can look through the telescope at any one time. So only one of you can see clearly at any one time. And while one person's seeing clearly, the other person's mirroring or mimicking in some sort of way. It's like you're either watching yourself or you're watching your person. What do I want to clarify first? Seven of what? I want to clarify the Wheel of Fortune because it feels like this is the lens. This is your energy. Seven of Pentacles is a Virgo card for me. It talks about being very patient and planting seeds and kind of working on something for a long time. There's an extended time period here. So it's like, maybe this is like, here's this really great opportunity, but there's going to be a time investment, right? It's going to be a while before this thing pays off for you. So you have to nurture it, you have to tend it. But then you're like, oh, I've not got any time for this, I'm off. I've put too much time into this and I'm not seeing a return on it, so I'm off. But it's in the upright, so there is a return on it. There is a return on the investment. Whatever you put into this, you're going to get back. But a lot happens under the surface before you see the plant sprout, right? A lot of the time, the seed will be there's a lot of energy in a seed. There's a lot of, each seed has this kind of blueprint in it, so it knows what to do. It spreads out its root system first, right? It reaches out. So this could be talking about psychically reaching out, right? Psychically, like gathering in resources, gathering in information, but being cloaked, being unseen, being shadowed. My heart just pounded. It's like drawing it all in, drawing in minerals, drawing in water, drawing in resources, having the plan, building those solid roots, those solid foundations. And it's like all of a sudden in springtime, the shoot will appear and you can have very, very rapid growth with a plant, especially if they've laid that root system, they've done the groundwork well. If they've been planted into very nutrient rich soil, there's a lot of rapid expansion after that. So I feel like if you've been investing into something and you're not seeing any return on it at the moment, I want to say it's all happening in the background. It's like, it's this cloaking energy. So again, maybe you've invested in a person and you've got this kind of like, where did they go energy. It could be that they're doing something, because you've also the Hermit card in the Chariot. So it could be that your person's doing a lot internally. A lot of thinking, a lot of planning, a lot of preparing. And so to you, it's like, I can't see them anymore. I can't emotionally or psychically connect with them. What's the Two of Cups? Yeah. Again, with this like higher vibration, like going higher energy of the Judgment card. And the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So that heart pounding as well. There is some kind of idea here. It feels a little bit pie in the sky, right? A little bit when pigs might fly. But again, it's this feeling of you have to work together on it, right? There's 3 people here. It could be somebody from work. This could be a co-worker in some sort of way, right? I recognise you. I recognise you as my emotional equal. We're different because the 3 of Pentacles says there's 3 people coming together who have different things to bring to the table, but they work well as a team, right? It's no good, like if you're in a kitchen, it's no good if there's 10 people working in that kitchen and they all think they're the head chef. There's going to be conflict there. But if somebody's like, right, I'm the head chef, I'm the dishwasher, I'm running the food out, I'm the waiter, I'm doing this, you're doing that, like it works much better, right? It's a collaborative energy where people are bringing different skills or different roles to the table to make it work well. But then there's new emotions here. This person's looking up, like wanting to levitate, wanting to go higher, wanting to make the situation better. But pigs might fly. There's this real sense of like not believing it. Like this is a fantasy, this is a dream, I don't believe it. The Sun card there though, I feel like you should be trusting this, I want to say. Judgment card for Virgo. Yeah, it's a lot of self-doubt. You're self-sabotaging here. 7 of Swords. Not believing it, thinking there's deception. I mean, it's Archangel Gabriel's the Judgment card. It's very high vibrational energy. And you're there thinking, oh, this is a trick. This is a trick. Don't trust it. 5 of Wands. Here's the groundwork as well. 4 of Wands is like laying the foundations for me. Laying the groundwork of the tower, right? The more firmly you lay the foundations, the better that tower's going to be. But it's like this conflict, this fighting. So you're here trying to trying to bring in some kind of good fortune, trying to make things better, trying to improve a situation, trying to do the groundwork for something. But it could be, I mean, this is you, this is your emotions. So either you're aware that there's conflict about this, or aware that there's fighting about it. I want to be the head chef. Or, wait, what's that? Let me just get a card before I explain what I'm getting. Again, with the self-doubt, I'm just getting like 5 of wands to 4 of wands. It's like, you know, too many chefs spoil the broth, you know. There could be one person who's causing a lot of conflict. It's like they have to be removed from the situation in some sort of way to bring it to the 4 of wands. The 4 of wands is a celebration, an event, a party, happiness, you know, celebration of milestones, firm foundations. They're telling me one is not like the others, and I'm just noticing that kind of everybody's wearing mostly black, but this person's kind of all in cream, all in white. And then it's clarified with this 8 of Swords, which is a card about being mentally trapped. Right, do you remember all the ravens on that 7 of Swords where I was saying it's self-sabotage? Someone's self-sabotaging, someone depicts themselves as being trapped when actually they're not trapped. And again with this mirror, right, hang on, because this is that lens coming back again. So looking through and seeing the other person and perceiving that other person clearly, but it flips and they can perceive you clearly, but you perceive yourself as trapped. Do you perceive yourself as trapped because the other person in the situation is trapped? You think they're trapped, so you therefore perceive yourself as trapped? One person's not like the others. I want to say one person is taking the higher path, because this is the higher path or the upper hand or the higher ground. And you had that Page of Cups where it was like he was levitating, right? Somebody's going up in vibration. The Judgment card is like, you know, going up in vibration, ascension. Maybe somebody's ascending. And it feels like this person, but it's like because they're ascending, because they're going up in vibration, they don't match. It's like they're not meant to be on the battleground anymore. It's like now they're the head chef. Or perhaps they don't even want to be a chef anyway. So what's the higher ground in your thoughts? It's like being above the competition in some sort of way. Yeah, because she's not even fighting. Look. Like, it's like these 4 are fighting, but she's actually not. She's almost like holding back or removing the one from the situation. Either that or she's just going to sideswipe all of them. Somebody's different, somebody's not like the others. So what's the 7 of Wands? Yeah, no, somebody's above it. It's like I'm better than this. I'm hearing I'm better than this. Like being positive or like being free, like almost like the removal of oneself from any conflict or drama. It's like you can all fight it out. I don't even want it anyway, right? It's not worth it. Not worth it. Not worth the fight. Not worth the battle. It's like it's beneath me to scrap. So what's the 6 of Swords? They're giving me walking back to happiness. Whoop-bye, oh yeah. Yeah, because the six of Swords is moving out of choppy waters, leaving conflict behind, leaving any drama, leaving any chaos behind, and moving forward emotionally and mentally. Now there's something here, I'm going to come back to these 2 cards in a second, just to remind you of the card that it was the Eight of Swords, and she was perceiving herself as trapped, right? It's like she still perceives herself as trapped. Mentally, she still perceives herself as trapped. I want to say it's two people, right? It's two people. So one person perceives themselves as mentally trapped, when all the while this other energy is actually, I want to say it's this person with the oar, right? This person has an oar, that person in the background has an oar. All the while, it's like this counterpart energy, this friend is steering the ship. Like, you don't even know. All you see, or all they see, I don't know, flip it and reverse it. It's hard for me. It's like two energies. One person perceives themselves as trapped. One person's stuck in their own thoughts. One person doesn't know what to do. The other person knows what to do. They've already taken the higher path. They've already heard the calling. They're already steering you out of that situation. Could be a Leo. Leo had this thing about steering the ship. Right? It's like they're your gondola. But you don't even realise you're moving. It's like you don't even, because it's just gliding, right? That boat's kind of gliding out of that situation. And this person's so focused on the swords, they don't even know that they've moved. And what are they moving towards? But happiness. You had the Sun card, right? Where did the Sun card come out? Is it here? Taking the higher ground, removing yourself from the situation. And here you're moving towards the Ten of Cups, which is happiness shared with other people. So, you know, your true match, your true connection, that friend in need. And then what I'm getting from this card, the imagery of the Knight of Wands, because the Knight of Wands is like having a great time, you know, letting off steam, celebrating, being a little bit wild, feeling very free around people who support you, feeling very free in a place where you're happy, you know, very, very different from whatever's going on here. But what's really interesting about this Knight of Wands card is that there's 4 wands in the background. And do you remember me saying, if you take a wand away, if you remove someone from the situation, and I want to say that what's actually happening, it's not that somebody has to be removed from the situation because it's not like this person's the trouble causer, right? 5 people. It's not that this person's the trouble causer. It's that this person shouldn't be in that environment anyway, because it's like they're above it, or they're beyond it, or they're more mature, or they're higher vibrational. So they shouldn't even be in the competition anyway, you know. So they're being removed from any kind of like toxic environment, any competitiveness. It's like they're not even meant to be. Their nature is not the same as the nature of those people who are fighting. So this other energy, this friend, could be a spirit guide, is, listen. I don't know if you heard some shouting in the street there. Again, it's like maybe somebody's in a situation that they feel trapped in, where, you know, a lot of people argue, the family argue, the friends argue, there's conflict in somebody's living situation or in somebody's work situation, and they don't want any part of it, but they feel trapped in it. They perceive themselves as trapped in it. But I want to say this other energy is coming in, and you are being moved out of it. You know, you're moving to calmer waters, but maybe you don't see it. Maybe it's like spirit guides, right? The universe coming to somebody's aid. But they see themselves as trapped. But you're moving to something that's, so I was saying it's like the 4 of Wands, right? So it's like the 4 of Wands are these 4 other people fighting, and then this 4th person here is just like they're beating their own drum. So it could be that you're dancing to your own beat, right? Not worrying about what everybody else is doing, not worried about the competition. Maybe some of you are in competition, like maybe competing for a certain job, maybe competing for, maybe just you're like the game of life, right? It's like you're not competing with others, you're not comparing yourself to others, you're doing your own thing, and you're doing things that are high vibrational and fun for you, and you're just staying out of any conflict and drama. So I want to say that's really, really good. But you think you're stuck, you perceive yourself as stuck, or you perceive yourself as being under attack. Noticing the Queen of Cups there. So the High Priestess in reverse. You don't trust it. You're not trusting your intuition. This is your 2 of Cups. This is your soulmate. So this is like a soul family, a soul friend. Somebody, they match you. Their energy works well with you. So I want to say some of you, it could be like a change in friendship group, right? Moving away from friends who are always like causing trouble and conflict and gossip and drama, and moving to someone who matches your high vibrational level better, right? It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be friend, it can be co-worker, it can be anything. It's like somebody who gets you, somebody who's on the same vibe as you, right? Somebody who's not interested in whatever that is. But why you don't trust it? Why? I mean, you've got fears, you don't understand it. It could be that it's new. So sometimes we can, if a lot of our life has been spent in a certain situation, or we've just been in a certain situation for a long time, sometimes it can be like you can't see the wood for the trees, right? Again, with that kind of like blocked thoughts. It's like if you don't know what else is out there, if you don't know what your other options are, then maybe you're not going to trust that when it comes in for you. I think somebody else had a reading like this. I don't know if it was Santaro or Awakening to Spirit, but somebody else was picking up on something like this, where it was like, if you've only ever had abusive relationships, then you don't know what it's like to be in a healthy relationship. So when it comes along, you think it's some kind of trick. Or, you know, if you've always been in workplaces where, you know, everybody's been, you know, it's been a really competitive environment. I don't know, maybe it's like some kind of high pressure job where everybody's always been really competitive. You know, everybody's been fighting for that next like rung on the career ladder. You know, to go to a workplace where people promote each other and like help each other improve and support each other, you know, push and pull each other up the ladder, you know, that's going to be like, when am I going to get backstabbed here? It was making me think of a comedy sketch by, I think it's, is she called, I'm going to pronounce her name wrong, I'm so sorry, and it's an Irish name, which is interesting because you've had Irish stuff twice now. Aisling B, A-I, is it L-S-I-N-G B? If I can remember, I'll put the link in the description box down below. But she was talking about, she's Irish, and I think Irish and British, we tend to be quite defensive, and we tend to be a little bit like, what does this person want from me? So she was talking about the difference between flirting in Ireland and flirting in America. And she was saying in Ireland, the way that people flirt is like, oh, you're ugly, you're a tramp, you know, I hate you, like, get out of here. It's like flirting is like being mean to each other. And then the friend is like, so, like, what do you think of him? Oh, yeah, I love him, he's moving in next week. You know, it's like the flirting technique is this kind of like, oh, butting heads thing. But she said she went to America and she was in this coffee shop and this guy was like, hey, you're cute, want to get a coffee sometime? And she was like, rapist, you know, like, what does this person want from me? Like, what's like not understanding? And he was just being genuine, you know, he's just like, hey, I like you, want to get a date? And she's just like, what is this person's problem? Because she's not used to it. So again, it's giving me that kind of energy. I'll try and link it in the description box below. You can go and watch that clip, it's so funny. But yeah, it's like your intuition is like doesn't know what to make of it because it's unknown. Again, like in your head, like I'm in my head over this, I don't understand it, what does this mean? My intuition's flaring, you know, I'm seeing loads of red flags. Like, this isn't for me, I'm not good enough for this. Ugh, all this horrible imposter syndrome things that we tell ourselves. So let's get that Six of Cups clarified, because it's a soulmate, it's nostalgia, it's memories of the past. What is it? Here's your Ten of Cups. And there you are, thinking it's back, just thinking you're stuck. This could be heaven or it could be hell. Is it going to be freedom or is it going to be more responsibilities? You don't know what to make of it. Oh, Virgo, what am I going to do with you? What am I going to do with you? This is... what a predicament you've got yourself in. You don't feel like you can trust it, but I think the universe is moving you towards it. Like, the universe is like, come on, Virgo. Like, this is a better place for you over here. We're gonna move you slowly but surely into this better situation. It's like the universe is like, we know you don't trust it. Sword, make the change. Dragons, slay them all. Slay those dragons. I want to say your dragons are your imposter syndrome. You perceiving yourself as stuck or powerless when actually you're not. thinking that you're not worthy of things because it's unfamiliar to you. I want to say, how do you treat others? That's how you can expect to be treated. If you're kind to people, you should expect people to be kind to you back, right? So if whatever you're putting out, whatever you're giving, be open and willing to receive the same thing, because there are people out there like you. Virgos are very, very kind, and they do carry a lot of other people's burdens. You know, you are the sign that's like the giver of the tarot or the horoscope. So you are this giver energy, this provider, this nurturer, you know, putting in the time and effort, doing things right. You know, you're often the good guys. Keanu Reeves, if you think how Keanu Reeves is perceived, he's a Virgo. You can, there are other people out, there's other Virgos out there, right? There's other people who are like you, right? There are other people who are kind and, you know, willing to put in time and effort into things. There are other people who love, and you deserve to receive those kind of people in your life, right? You don't have to be around the people who create conflict all the time. That doesn't match you. So I'm not saying dump all your friends and go off, like, but be open and willing to receive the love that you so willingly and openly give to others, because you deserve it, because that's what you're putting out. Does that make sense? Okay. Sword, make the change. There is a big life change you've been thinking of making for a while. Wheel of Fortune in your action space. This is a sign that you need to trust your instincts. Let's get that High Priestess in the upright, Virgo. Trust your instincts and take the leap. Whether you're thinking about cutting your hair or finding a job better suited for you, do the thing and do it with confidence. I mean, they're telling you to do it with confidence. Whether you will or not, I don't know. Dragon Slay them all. I love the these two decks. Like, I love the representation in them. Like, look, this girl's got a prosthetic leg. I love it, and she's off to fight those dragons. Like, such lovely. I'm getting goosebumps. Like, such lovely decks. Okay, dragons, slay them all. When the heart is involved, people don't always have the best intentions. Oh no, Virgo. When the heart is involved, people don't always have the best intentions. They will pretend they're good for you, only for you to find out that they're toxic or even abusive. The time has come to face your dragons, and you must slay them before they slay you. Not literally, of course, like your inner demons, right? Not literally people. Of course, don't literally slay them, but make sure they know that you won't stand for their mistreatment. So this is saying move into kind of Queen of Swords energy. So I don't know, maybe some of you do tipple into Libra. Queen of Swords is she has very strong boundaries. She says, this is where my line is. I am not prepared to put up with these things cross my line, and yeah, I'm not prepared to put up with it. If you cross my line, there's going to be consequences. You know, that's not being mean, that's being confident enough to say, I respect myself, I value myself, and this is where my boundaries are. Cross them and I'll cross you. I don't know, cross them and I'm cutting you off, right? Cross them and you're out of my life. I'm not prepared to put up with that BS. So I hope that was helpful for you. Interesting reading, empowering, but I don't see you. Your advice is empowering. You know, your guides, they want you to be empowered. They want you to trust your instincts. They want you to stand up for yourself. They want you to draw those clear boundaries and not put up with this kind of BS, right? I don't see you currently doing that. I see you actually having a lot of self-doubt, feeling like you're stuck, feeling like your hands are tied, having some imposter syndrome, and getting in your own head, getting really, really stuck in your own head with the Eight of Swords and what's going on here, and the Nine of Swords showing there as well. So you are a very analytical sign. You do like to over-analyze. You know, you do tend to have an impulse, have an instinct, like that Ace of Wands there. There's the Queen of Swords there, look. I can't wait to show you this card. So trust your instincts. What are your instincts telling you? What's your gut impulse? What are your feelings telling you about the situation? Don't overanalyze. Don't get stuck in your own head, because you could think yourself in circles. And trust me, Queen of Swords, right? I do this too. you know, both analytical signs. So yeah, I think being self-aware of your own behaviors, how, you know, you can impulsively feel like something's good for you, impulsively feel like something's right for you, impulsively feel like I want to move towards this, and having the confidence to do that with strong boundaries in place, you know, with like, yeah, okay, we're going to go and do this, but don't cross my lines, right? That's empowered. That's Queen of Swords. So if you start falling into that self-doubt, fears, self-sabotage energy, procrastination energy, be aware that you do that, and think of ways that you can not do that. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm not saying it's like a switch you can sort of switch off and stop overthinking, but I think being aware that you do overthink is a good step in towards not letting you self-sabotage, right? Not letting your imposter syndrome stop you from doing something you want to do, or not letting your fears and anxieties and stress ruin something that was coming through as like the Sun card and the Ten of Cups. Don't let your own doubts and fears ruin a good thing, right? High Priestess in the upright. And then just to show you, with those strong boundaries in place, right, with clear communication about what you're willing to tolerate, oop, knocked everything over. You are a badass being full of life, love and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find a path to your best self. Virgos, you've got this. You can do this. I have faith in you. Have faith in yourself. And I will see you again soon. Have a lovely Christmas if I don't see you before. Bye.